The Bucket, written and narrated by Brian Terence. "Welcome to the Bucket, lads. What can I get you?" the barman asked, smiling warmly. The two young men were perusing the board behind the bar, assessing the options. The barman, amused at their apparent thoughtful reflections, suggested, "Why don't you just have a local beer, brewed just down the road?" Thanks," was their tired response. "You lads following the Dragon's Trail?" the barman asked, just making polite conversation. "Yes, actually. Can you explain why it's called that? There are a few stories on the internet, but no one seems to really know." The lads leaned in closer to the bar, sipping at their drinks and eagerly awaiting the barman's reply. "This is an old pub, one of the oldest in the area. It's built on the remains of an ancient temple. There's a myth of an evil dragon that used to live in these parts, and the temple was built to worship and appease it. You can still access the ruins through the pub's basement." The barman leaned in close and took on a conspiratorial air as he reached the end of his explanation. "Maybe I can take you down there after you've finished your drinks." A woman appeared from around a corner, the lads assuming she was the barman's wife. She was shortish and blonde with a low-cut top. She looked every bit the stereotypical busty barmaid. The two lads finished their beer eagerly and followed the woman towards a wooden door marked "Private." They were almost hypnotised by the sway of her hips as she walked. As she held the door open for them, they couldn't help but brush against her voluptuous figure. The stairs were poorly lit and the lads found their legs unsteady. They made their way down the stairs with the barmaid following them, her sultry banter as hypnotic as her figure. This is how the pub got its name. The rock formation in the centre of what was once the pagan temple is shaped like a bucket, with that large indentation on the top. I heard that they used to sacrifice virgins back in ancient times. She then added with a seductive wink, "I'd not be in any danger then." "But you are," she continued, almost inaudibly. The lads were struggling to stand. Their legs were wobbly. Either that beer had been a lot stronger than advertised, or it had been spiked. "Relax, it'll all be over soon. We added a little something to your beer. Can't have you screaming. It'll disturb the other customers." As she said this, she transformed. Her clothes fell away. Initially, the lads looked on with interest, but lust turned to horror as her warm flesh transformed into armoured scales and she grew too large for the small cavern. With a single flick of her clawed hand, she slashed their throats and hung the bodies upside down over the indentation in the rock for the blood to drain out. The only sound in the sepulchral silence, that of the splattering blood. "Welcome to the Bucket, lads."